they also don't, at the end of the day, really deliver for working people. And I think one reason for that is that governments like BC's and Alberta's previously can only pass policy that's acceptable to the corporate powers that be. And that's partly, I think, because NDP officials are often working for those powers when they aren't working for the party. Like, you have a revolving door today between the NDP and the corporate lobby class. And it's no longer a party that can really advocate for the solutions we need, precisely because those solutions have to come at the expense of the corporate elite. So, and for instance, I don't mean this as a personal attack, but kind of as an illustration of a pattern. Like, Cheryl, you yourself have worked as a lobbyist. You've lobbied for Uber in BC, which is, destroying the taxi industry. You've also lobbied for a coal company that, has been fined massively in BC for polluting rivers. So if we want to fight for the bold solutions that working people in this country need, it's harder to do that when you're lobbying for those same corporate powers. And I think the NDP's membership, as well as Canadians broadly, want government to be regulating and reining in these corporate interests, not rewarding them.
Okay, I'll start with Martin's comments about me being a lobbyist first, because that's true. I am a lobbyist. I've also worked on the last 3 Alberta campaigns, the last Manitoba campaign. I ran the last Saskatchewan campaign, and I'm a registered lobbyist. But I think, for what it's worth, I have never worked on any files that I don't think that work against my values as a New Democrat and work against the values of what I think NDP governments are trying to achieve. I do think that when we take these positions, and Martin's not the first person to raise this point, when we demonize professional campaign staffers, which, when I'm joining a campaign, that's what I am, it is just another way of dividing the party against itself. I think the NDP should be a big tent, rooted in labor, rooted in activists, rooted with Indigenous voices and social justice advocates, and yes, hopefully some professionals who know how to win elections. So when we turn campaign staffers into villains, we are not making the party stronger. We're not making the party more authentic. We are just making the tent smaller, and we end up pushing out people who bring really valuable skills and experience, and we create false enemies inside our house instead of focusing on the real ones outside. So I think this sort of path to say anybody who has a professional career that overlaps with politics or overlaps with campaigns is very self-defeating.
That was political consultant Cheryl Oates and managing editor of The Breach, Martin Lukács, on Front Burner. Listen to the full conversation wherever you get your podcasts. Let's turn to business now. Antonia Reid is here with today's business news. Hi,